Hey guys, Austin here, and today on Check 2 we're taking a look at the Zhiyun Crane 2 Servo follow focus. Okay, so we have the Servo follow focus right here. This funny looking tumor on the side got attached to the side of my lens here allows me to pull focus via the handle of the crane. So I think one of the reasons why an attachment like this is such a big deal is because when you're using the crane, a lot of times you're completely dependent on autofocus. You're trying to use the camera's autofocus, and while cameras are getting better and better every day, you still have the problem of hunting, or maybe you're doing a shot with a lot of crazy movement, or the frame's very busy and the camera doesn't know quite what to focus on, and you're completely at the mercy of whatever it decides to do. And a lot of people were excited when they introduced the Crane 2 because it had this follow focus knob here, and they've actually been able to use this along with the camera control cable on Canon cameras to get the functionality without an attachment. The motors that are, the autofocus motors that are in the lens, the camera's firmware just allows for this to control that without any accessories. However, if you're a Sony user, or if you use cinema style lenses like I do with the geared focus, they have this unit here to rectify that. So Zhiyun has brought this Servo follow focus to the market at $125. And I think that's an important note on a product like this, because at that price point, it's totally worth spending that $125 to get this unit. If it was much more money than that, I might second guess it. But based on using this on a couple of shoots, I really think that it's a worthy add-on to have. One of the things that I was worried about when I ordered this is, you know, how responsive is it going to be? And pulling focus is one of those things where if there's any latency at all, you're going to be focusing your shot and it's going to go past before you realize it. I'm delighted to know that there's very little latency between the motion of the control wheel here and the gear focusing the lens. I noticed a slight little bit of ramping when I let off. It goes for just a second, but it's not enough to mess up your shot. So one of the things that you'll definitely have to do, especially if you've already had your crane for a while, to get this follow focus to work, is you're going to have to upgrade the firmware in your crane. I would think I was running version 1.6 firmware on my Crane 2, and I opened the box up for the follow focus, plugged it in, and I got no functionality at all. However, I had already anticipated this issue from watching several other reviews online and reading a few comments on Facebook about it. I knew that this was going to happen, so I had already downloaded version 1.72. That's the firmware update you're going to have to do with the crane to get the functionality. Installation is pretty easy with this. So once you've updated your firmware, you know, you're ready to install. I'm going to go ahead and take the unit off the crane now, so that way I can put it back on and kind of show you the installation process. Alright, so now I've removed the follow focus unit from the crane so I can show you exactly how to put it on, how it affects balancing, and a few other issues that you may run into. When you first open the box, there is one piece you're going to have to attach before anything else, and it's the beginning of this little attachment arm here. Since I've had it, I haven't taken this off. So once you put this on your crane, you never have to take this off again. You can just leave this on the entire time. And then when you're ready to use your follow focus, you're ready to go through the process I'm about to show you now. So as you notice, the camera is completely unbalanced because this is going to change your balance. This is going to add weight to the front right side of the camera where it attaches here. The other piece you're going to get is this extension rod here. This threads right into this attachment that we showed you earlier. The next piece is this little clip here. This is what holds it onto the rail system. And that goes on. And this has a rail system of its own that the follow focus unit slides onto. And as you can see, right there is about where it's going to sit. Or you can move this forward and back until the gear lines up with the gear on your lens. For me, it's right about there. I'm going to go ahead and attach the cable just to make sure that that doesn't alter it, and then we'll do a fine balancing at the end. All right, so the cable's connected. We're going to take a quick look at the balance. Still getting that it's a little bit front heavy. Just going to back the camera up a little bit. And I didn't have to move it a whole lot. There we are. There we go. That's pretty balanced right there. You see it'll stay where I put it. So you have a little bit of leeway. Now the trouble you know, in balancing this with this is that if you rebalance the camera forward or back, the gears may no longer line up, and then you'll have to move the mechanical follow focus, which then throws it off again. Then you've got to move both. So you kind of want to move both together as you go, as you find the right balance. So if you're moving the camera back a little bit, you're going to want to move the follow focus back a little bit if you're front heavy or back heavy. And it can be a little bit of a game of cat and mouse, because if you move one, then the other's off, and then you got to move that, then the balance is off. So it does take a little bit of extra getting used to when you're going to balance your camera on the crane with the focus system. All right, so as you can see, this big gray blob right here is a gray card. I put this here so that way we can do a performance check and do a quick focus pull to show you how well this works. Despite the added visitor we have, I'm going to go ahead and acquire focus on the gray card, and I'm going to pan up and acquire focus on the camera that's filming this video. There we go. I actually turned it the wrong way at first. All right, you see my monitor up there. Coming back to the card. Kitty, you're messing me up. And back up to the camera. So again, I'm saying I'm doing this completely with the the small screen on the back of the Sony cameras, which we all know is not the best for pulling focus. I do have the focus assist turned on, so I'm able to get a little bit of assistance there. However, if I were using my small HD, which currently is occupied filming this video, I would have a lot more accuracy. There we go. Camera. Gray card. Kitty, you're making my shot all wobbly. Camera. Gray card. Camera. Okay, so even with the cat, that still was a little bit awkward, but it worked well. However, we're going to cut in some shots because I was able to use this on a commercial shoot that I was doing. It was a scene with a kid and a father teaching him how to ride a bike. So I'll insert that here. And yeah, this scene was completely shot on the crane. But as you can see, I had no trouble keeping the shot in focus. I think that shows that this unit can stand up to the rigors of a tough shoot, kind of a tough situation, shooting outside, kind of a difficult shot, people coming towards me, and I'm pulling focus. And I was happy with the way it worked, and I think that it was $125 well spent. And I will give you full disclosure, I bought this unit with my own money. They didn't, I'm not being paid to say this. So yeah, I think if you're looking for a way to pull focus while on the crane, this, along with a good monitor, is going to be an invaluable tool when you're on set. And one last thing that I failed to mention is that, if you're not using one of these lenses that has the geared focus ring, it's still possible to use this unit. They provide you with these rubber straps that have the gear teeth built in. Obviously, you wouldn't be using a 70-200 on the gimbal, but I don't have another still lens close to me that doesn't have the teeth on it. So I'm just going to demonstrate with this. They provide you with two of these right out of the box. So say this was a 50 or a 35 millimeter, maybe like a Sigma Art or something like that, and you wanted to add the teeth on it so that you could do the focus pull. You just attach this onto the focus ring of your camera, like so, and now there you have the teeth that the focus unit can use. So just another thing you can do. All right, so hopefully you found this review of the Zhiyun Crane 2 Servo Follow Focus Unit helpful. I definitely think it's a great unit, and for $125, you really can't, there's nothing that touches it in that price range. So I definitely recommend that if you're using the Zhiyun Crane already, and you have some lenses that will work with this, that you pick up the unit. It's really just going to be another great tool to add to your kit. If you like this review, please subscribe for more content. And remember, shoot first and ask questions later.